So let's go ahead and start with year, make, and model of your car.
It's a 1966 Ford Mustang Fastback.
Is it still a 1966 Ford Mustang?
It's still a 1966 Ford Mustang.
I don't recall those coming with 302s.
Well, that's a different story.
Well, that's what we're here for, is to tell the story.
Exactly.
So why does that have a 302 badge on it now?
All right, so a little backstory. I bought this car almost 30 years ago, when I was living out in Mississippi. And I drove the car back to Atlanta. And when I was checking the engine, it turns out that one of the valves was trying to drop itself out. So as I did compression testing, and you roll the motor over, it'd go click.
Lack of compression testing.
Yeah, and I opened it up, and the rocker arm was the wrong rocker arm for the valve. So every time it pushed down, it unlocked the valve. Luckily on that drive, it didn't drop the valve.
So this is when you went to buy the car? This thing was already...
Oh yeah, this was after I bought the car.
So let's talk about the story of you going to buy the car before you having to repair all the things that were
Yeah,
wrong
so let's
with
go.
it.
Yeah, let's go back to that. So I was working out in Mississippi as an engineer for GM, and there was a guy at the plant that was always buying cars and flipping cars, and a lot of them were Mustangs. And this car was offered to him, and for whatever reason, he actually didn't want it. So I went and looked at it, test drove it, and I actually ended up buying the Fastback. So it was a running driving car. The brakes were a little janky. I had to fix that first. And then I quit GM and I moved back to Atlanta. And that's when I drove the car.
So you're working for GM and you buy a Ford.
Oh yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
I had to park in the non-GM section because at the time you had to park.
It wasn't a foreshadowing that
GM.
you wouldn't work there anymore?
Yeah, no. So the car it was a C code, 2-barrel, 289 car with an automatic. But at least it was a 5-load car. They'd already done the disc brake conversion on the front to Granada brakes.
So those who aren't aware, because you got to remember there's going to be a lot of younger people in our audience, a C code is basically a 289 V8 Mustang.
Yeah, with a 2-barrel.
So just when somebody says C code, that's what they're referencing. If we don't start reminding people of what we're talking about, then that knowledge will get lost over time. So just occasionally when we're saying things, if somebody has a question, leave it in the comments. We'll be glad to answer it. If Arrow's in the frame now, that's my Husky. She will come in and out whenever she wants. She doesn't follow direction. So is this the original color on the car?
No, this is not the original color. The car is originally a blue car with a black interior. But the father and son I bought it from painted it in a barn back in the mid-'80s. They followed the color scheme of the GT350 Fox body at the time. And they changed the interior to a red interior.
So what's the official color now? Is that Wimbledon white? Yeah,
that's actually a Wimbledon white car with burgundy stripe. I don't know what the burgundy stripe is. Later on, we can show you the initials of the father or the son are in the trunk where they paint. Once they painted it, they signed it in the back. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, we'll have the guys actually, the AV team they've done videos of the engines, the trunks, and everything else, and they'll point it out when they do the video and for the edit. We're just going to do the outside of the car to begin with. So the wheels, where are the wheels off of? Because obviously not the original.
Right. So I can't even remember what the original wheels it came with. But I ended up with a set of Keystone Classics. But they were the most annoying wheels to put on and off because you had to have this little special adapter, and every time you took them off, the adapter bent some more and all that. So I bought these off of Summit Racing. These are 15-inch wheels where the car originally had 14-inch wheels. So it handles better, a little bigger tire, the right offset so that the tires didn't rub.
Because you're on 15s, and what's your width?
That I don't know. I don't remember.
I mean, I'm sure your tires are 50 years old. That's about how most of your
cars
are.
Yeah, they probably are. But the Keystones also, they were the wrong offset, and they'd rub in the back. They'd rub in the front.
Now, the side louvers are a little different too.
Right. So part of when they painted it, if you notice, the original cars, the louvers were matched to the color of the body.
Yeah.
These, they accented with the color on the outside. And it's a different look. It actually got me out of trouble one time.
I doubt it.
I was down at Cruising the Coast, and I was pulling into one of the parking areas, and a guy comes over and starts yelling at me. He says, "Hey, you can't do that anymore." And I'm like, "What do you mean? You can't do burnouts." Luckily, his buddy behind him walks up to him and goes, "Hey, that car has red louvers. The car that was doing burnouts had white louvers." "Oh, okay, I'm sorry."
I'd have been like, he's lying. I don't trust him. Okay, and the trunk line, is your trunk popped right here? Is
Yeah,
it really?
yeah,
Okay. I was wondering, I was fixing to say, that is way off.
No, it fits right.
So when they do the video of the trunk here in a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, the louvers are one of the better accents on the car. I do like them being red to offset. So a lot of people don't realize that you can do, at least in the state of Georgia, we can run the old classic tags on our cars with an affidavit. So we actually have real tags as well, but we are allowed to drive around with our classic tags on, so long as they're registered with the DMV. Okay, obviously this is not a GT350. Why the decal?
Yeah, because when I went to buy all the parts, they had an original GT350, and I wanted to put it on there. The other thing about the tag, once we get to the front of the car, there is a 1966 Mississippi tag that came with the car. So I have the Mississippi where it came from. I have a Georgia tag where we're currently running it at.
So now we can tell the story of why you almost got divorced because of this car.
Yeah, exactly. That's where the GT350 came from.
Yeah, you said Mississippi, so that reminds me of why Anna got mad at you.
Yeah, so going on with the story, so the car, obviously the engine was shot. The engine was going to need to be rebuilt. So I started shopping around for engines. I bought a block to redo, but I wanted to go ahead and make it a roller motor block. So I had the block, looking for a transmission, et cetera, et cetera. So I ended up finding a crate motor out of Panos Motorsports up on the north side. They had 2 brand new crate motors that have been sent to Ford to get rebuilt and brought back because they had some kind of quality problem, but they couldn't put them in new cars. So I ended up finding that engine, bought a whole complete crate motor, bought a used 5-speed transmission. So now the car has a 302 roller motor with a 5-speed transmission. At the time we had Melvin's Ford parts, and I was looking for a pedal set because the car was an automatic and I was making it a 5-speed. So I called Melvin's and they had a used pedal set that they would sell. So we went to Melvin's on a Saturday. We had another stop that we were supposed to make. But we went there to go pick up the pedal set, and as I started talking to them and telling them what I was doing, they start bringing out the parts list, and it's like, we got the clutch, we got the parts for the clutch, we got the 5-speed handle shifter, we had blah, 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 all the parts needed to do the 5-speed conversion. And that, 5-minute trip turned into a 4-hour trip, sitting there at the shop. And, it got me all the parts I needed to convert the car, but almost got me a divorce.
In all fairness, that's probably less damage to your marriage than I've actually done getting your wife mad at you. I know how to push her buttons. It's fun. She doesn't think so, but I find it humorous.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that can get under her skin. Low end on the cost of about what it would take to build one of these currently.
Oh, geez.
I mean, starting with one of these, you're looking at 25 to 30 grand just to start with one of these in a base fastback anymore.
They sell a body with nothing on it. Literally no windows or nothing. They go from 5 to 10 grand. The crate motor nowadays, yeah, it's going to probably take, 30 to 40 to build one.
Well, keep in mind, this is 4-wheel disc as well, right? You don't.
No.
You still have the drums in the back.
I still have drums in the back.
Because interestingly enough, this thing has not been done being built. It just got a 9-inch rear end this year.
So the paint and body's original to the build in the 80s, but everything underneath I've gone through and changed it. When I put the 302 motor in it, the discussion at the time was either put fuel injection on it or air conditioning.
I think 30. I think 30's optimistic. I'm thinking you're probably closer in the 60 range to do this.
So living in Georgia, I bought air conditioning. So we ended up putting air conditioning in the car. I'm constantly upgrading it. So we just, like Sean said, we just put a 9-inch in it. with 11-inch drums on the back, just like the Shelbys had. While we were at it, I went ahead and put subframe connectors on it because I've never had them on there to stiffen up the body. When we put the 9-inch, we went ahead and put a posi traction rear end on it, bigger brakes. The Coney shocks that were on it were worn out, so we went with brand new KYBs.
But it's funny as to why you even have a 9-inch. It was purely accidental as to how you got the 9-inch in this. So let's explain why there's a 9-inch in the rear end of this car.
Yeah, so
we have an automotive shop as well that I'm the chief technology officer for the shop. Jose's the chief operations officer. He's the CEO of the shop. We are the only shop in the area that still works on anything older than 2000. So we do have customers and clientele who bring us older stuff to work on. So go ahead and tell how we got the 9-inch rear end.
Yeah,
for
so
the
we had a customer with a 50 Ford, and he wanted to upgrade the rear end because you couldn't find any other parts to rebuild his rear end. All the bearings were shot, but you couldn't find any other parts. Nobody was able to source them. So we got into discussions about buying a rear end or building a rear end for his car, and doing the research. A 66 Mustang rear end is about the right width to fit under the car without any modifications. So in discussions with him, he told me, hey, look for me a 66 Mustang rear end. So I started doing the research. I called some people around. Nobody had one. And I just gotten the car out of storage, and it was sitting in the shop, and I look at it and I go, well, as a matter of fact, I have one here. If we can work out a good deal, I'll buy a brand new rear end because I can get a 9-inch. He's got a little flat head. I can get the 9-inch rear end, build it up, put it in my car, and then we'll take my rear end that I know is a good rear end, do whatever needs to be fixed to put it back in your car, and we'll do that. And he agreed to it, and that car now has a 9-inch rear end with 373 gears in it. Bigger brakes and everything else brand new.
You make this sound more simplistic than it actually was. This took like a couple months to do because you had to send the drive shaft out to be cut.
Yeah.
Because the angle on the drive shaft changed with the rear end. So then we had to have the drive shaft cut. Did he have to have his cut down as well, right?
Yeah.
So we had to find somebody that can still cut and weld drive shafts and balance them.
Right.
Which I don't remember which company did we use.
We didn't make a new one. We used his, and then just had to join the.
Who was the company we used? Sorry, we'll give them a little bit of a shout out. Don't remember.
No.
We'll look it up if we have to.
Yeah, it's.
But again, yeah, some things we still have to send out of the shop. We're not quite there to where we could actually cut drive shafts, weld them, and balance them.
Correct.
We can do most things, but that's a little above my pay grade.
You need some specialized equipment that we don't have.
But yeah, so I mean, it's when we say we work on these things and customize them, we're going to make them right. We're not just going to slap some parts together and put them back. So a lot of these cars, when they're built, we shake them down when we're done with them. This one's still in the shakedown phase now, even though you've had it for how many years now?
I just did the math. It's 29 years, almost 30.
Wow, that's my
just
original.
had to. And speaking of the air conditioning, so the air conditioning is a vintage air kit that I installed back when I did the engine conversion. And that was when I moved back, so in 2001, 2002. It stopped working. Well, the dryer blew up, and the dryer went into the expansion valve in the car and blocked it, and that's why it wasn't working. So I just got that all put back together about 3 weeks ago, and now we have air conditioning back in the car.
Yeah, I'm glad you drove it over today, even though you got a busted left ankle.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to my world.
Yep.
It's no fun driving a stick shift with a busted left ankle. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you the meanest question I've asked you. Which one of your kids gets this car?
I can't say that.
Sure you can. Which one's your favorite? I can tell you.
No, the oldest one is the one that really wants the car.
Yeah,
Diego
I think this one
wants the
fits
car.
Diego better,
Yeah.
and then Mateo will wind up with probably one of the other ones. Again, these are not the only vehicles we own. We have several, and I'm sure we'll be going through several of these as the process of getting these videos up and online and telling the stories of each car. Some of these are fun because these are the ones we owned before we knew each other. The ones that we've bought together or the ones that we've gotten like as a group, some of the stories behind them are nuts.
Yeah,
Like there's been several times that each of us has almost been killed. Like literally each of us have almost been killed. We've almost dropped a car on Jose.
Yep.
I almost took Bill out at a junkyard one time from heat exhaustion. Like I think I took him down for almost a solid week. I don't know that the cars have almost killed me. Other things in the shop have almost killed me, but never one of the cars.
Almost killed us tire salesman one time.
Yeah. And then we've also, things that should have killed us and didn't, were awesome too. Like, I can't wait till we get to the ramp truck story. That one's going to be fun.
Yeah.
But anything else unique on the car or about the story or anything else on this one?
So we haven't talked about the interior on the car. So the father-son combo carpeted the whole trunk. So it looks like a finish. A normal Mustang doesn't have a finished trunk. It's just got paint on the inside and then it's got a little vinyl mat at the bottom. But this car, since I bought it, it's had the carpeted trunk and it's really cool.
The Mustangs after this had carpeted trunks.
Yeah, well, that was different. And then on the interior of the car, I had a friend that worked as a sales guy for TMI, which was an interior company. And I asked him if we could do something special that they didn't make at the time. So if you look at the seats, TMI made a sports seat, foam and vinyl, and I had him do it out of a standard interior with the two-tone combo. So it's got the Wimbledon white with the burgundy seats.
What's the console out of?
The console is just an aftermarket console.
I was going to say, that wasn't Mustang.
And then the door panels were also a custom done with the two-tone.
Yeah, I think the longest trip I've been in with you in this car was going to Atlanta, where we overheated in the middle of Atlanta. I had to shut off because of traffic. Once traffic got moving, we were able to crank it back up and then get to my office.
Right. The longest trip I've been on with this car is with my wife. In 2003, we did the complete hot rod power tour. The thing was, it's how I usually end up doing projects. The car was torn apart. The whole rear end was apart on the car. Needed to be put back together a week before we left for the trip.
Well, the ideal for the power tour is we need to take the Pinto wagons.
Yeah.
We have 3 Pinto wagons between me, you, and Bill. Obviously, I'm going to drive the slowest one with the 4-cylinder. Y'all both have cruising wagons. I've got the slower one. But mine has air conditioning, and I'm happy about it. So
it works.
But that will be a fun trip to do, because we're going to have to take at least 2 support vehicles.
And a trailer.
With an extra car so that we can switch out mid. So when the inevitable first one breaks down, my bet is it's going to be yours that breaks, not one of ours.
Probably.
But again, yeah, that'll be good. I want to go do the power tour with the Pintos, because I've never seen Pintos on a power tour.
Yeah, so the console, and that's what the console helped make it more comfortable trip. Also, one thing that the previous guys did, because they were both real tall, the driver's seat is actually moved back about 2 inches. Nice. So you can't get it up far enough.
Did they just reverse the rails, or did they put a different
they drilled new holes.
Okay.
And so my wife is kind of short. And
Anna is built like a T-Rex. I've been saying that for years.
In order to drive the car, underneath the back seat, there is a piece of foam that's about 4 inches thick that she can put in the seat, and she can actually drive the car, because on Power Tour, she needed to be able to drive the car.
You know, they'll send you phone books for free. So, T5?
T5.
Okay, so converted to T5 to a 5-speed from the original 4-speed.
Yep.
Yeah, I wish I still had my 67.
Yeah, from an original automatic car.
Yeah. All right, well, that's the story of this one. Well,
yep.
This is one of the least interesting of all your cars, just so you know.
It's the one I've rebuilt the most on, though.
It's your favorite car, and it's definitely
yeah.
your kid's favorite of your cars. But some of the other cars are more interesting. Like, your son actually owns the car now that I almost killed you with.
Yep.
Which is pretty awesome. All right, well, we'll bring this one down to a close on this video, and then we'll see the next episode.
All righty.